Welcome to Wrestling Talk in the Shop, where we will review wrestling memorabilia and talk all things professional wrestling straight from the wrestling ring.
Hello, this is Jonathan from Wrestling Talk in the Shop, and today we're starting a new series where we're going to go over every single Wrestlemania program, and we're going to start with number one. And on the cover is Mr. T and Hulk Hogan, WrestleMania 1. Let's look through it.
Hold on, let's look at the cover.
Nope. There it is. Maybe not the greatest conditioned copy, but it's one I own, so we're going to look through it. There's a nice shot of Hulk Hogan, Mr. T, and even the World Trade Center looks small compared to the Twin Towers of Hulk Hogan and Mr. T. And then here is the card, and I'll read over the card and tell you the results. Talk about it a little bit. I guess we'll start up here with Tino. Can you see that? Tito Santana versus the Executioner. Tito Santana won. The Executioner was actually Playboy Buddy Rose. I don't know why he was wearing a mask as the Executioner. And King Kong Bundy versus S Special Delivery Jones in a squash match. King Kong Bundy won. Matt Bourne, future Doink the Clown versus, well, they called him Rick Steamboat, but he's Ricky Steamboat here. Ricky Steamboat won. And then David Sanmartino, managed by his dad, Bruno Sanmartino, versus Brutus Beefcake, managed by Luscious Johnny Valentine. This match was a double DQ, throwed out, no winner. Intercontinental Championship match, Greg Valentine. Greg Valentine actually looked pretty good in here. This was probably the best Greg Valentine. He cut a promo before the match. I've never really seen him. That was a good Greg Valentine. Versus Junkyard Dog. It was Junkyard Dog won by disqualification. And Mike Rotunda versus Barry Windham challenged the Iron Sheik tag team title match. The Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkov. Was that Volkov? Is that right? They won. They were managed by they beat the USA Express, Mike Rotunda, and Barry Windham for the tag team champions. $15,000 body slam match. Andre the Giant versus Big John Studd, managed by Bobby the Brain Heenan. Andre looked good here too, WrestleMania 1, compared to what he would look like in WrestleMania 3. I mean, he looked pretty good here, and Andre won, and Big John Studd and Bobby Heenan stole the money, but Andre managed to throw some of it out to the crowd. And then you got Lonnie Kai versus Wendy Richter, managed by Cyndi Lauper. And this was right after the Rockin' Wrestling Challenge. Wendy Richter won. This would later, Wendy Richter eventually lost the title to, this is after WrestleMania, lost the title to Moolah and Spider Lady. This was the original screw job. And then in the main event, you got WWF Champion Hulk Hogan and Mr. T with Jimmy Snuka in the corner of those two, versus Rowdy Piper and Paul Orndorff and Cowboy Bob Orton in his corner, and Hulk Hogan and Mr. T won. Not really the greatest WrestleMania in my opinion. I mean, I've watched it several times. I watched it today reviewing this because I knew I was going to be talking about this program. But I mean, I guess looking back now, it's compared to what we see nowadays, it's nothing compared. But anyway, we'll look through it and read some of the highlights. We got my assistant, Lindsay. She's going to do the reading on this thing here.
All right. WrestleMania Takes Over by Edward Riccati. WrestleMania has arrived. The brutal back-breaking training sessions are over. So is the time for big talk and bad-mouthing the opposition. Today, the only things that count are raw courage, strength, speed, and by all indications, the ability to give and take in brawls vicious beyond belief. Pride, prestige, and wrestling futures are all on the line. It's time to settle the score, wipe out insult, and avenge injury. The matches topping the WrestleMania card are more than great wrestling contests. They are the culmination of vendettas and grudges between the principals that have heated to the boiling point. The competitors represent vastly opposing wrestling philosophies and indeed approaches to life. Hulk Hogan, World Wrestling Federation champion, and Mr. T, Rock'em Sock'em star of television's The A-Team and motion picture Rocky III, face Rowdy Roddy Piper and Paul Mr. Wonderful Orndorff in a vengeance match for all the marbles. Cowboy Bob Orton is in the Piper Orndorff corner, while Jimmy Superfly Snuka, who has had a running feud with Piper and Orton, serves as the corner man for the Hulkster and Mr. T. Any other featured matches, Wendy Richter, WWF Women's Champion, until February, let's see, is that where it starts?
Yeah.
Okay. Until February 18th, will try to regain her title from Leilani Kai, who took it from her amidst the explosive controversy. Kai's manager is the fabulous Moolah, from whom Richter originally won her championship.
Maybe I was wrong about my original screw job when that took place.
Yeah, I think so.
My timeline.
Richter's manager, meanwhile, is rock music superstar Cyndi Lauper, a fervent supporter of women's grappling. Lauper symbolizes what has come to be known as the Rockin' Wrestling Connection. As such, she has earned the enmity of Rowdy Roddy Piper, the leader of forces in the WWF that would like to sever the links between wrestling and rock. The links to which Piper will go to achieve his ends were dramatically demonstrated during a ceremony in the ring at Madison Square Garden honoring Lauper a few months ago. It started the chain of events leading to today's duel. Piper stormed the ring and assaulted Lauper, as well as her manager David Wolf and Captain Lou Albano, as he was about to create even more havoc. Piper was chased from the arena by Hulk Hogan, who rushed out of the dressing room when he heard the screams of the Garden crowd. Following that shocking incident, lines were drawn in the wrestling world and beyond between those who supported the wrestling rock link and those who opposed it. Cyndi and Hulk are the greatest, man, avowed the Junkyard Dog. Piper isn't fit to wear a skirt, charged Gloria Steinem. Piper, why don't you fight like a man? Asked Geraldine Ferraro. Rock in America stink, said the Iron Sheik. Rockers are trash, said Bobby the Weasel Heenan. The rock punks get out of wrestling, warned Big John Studd. Prodded by insults from the Piper crowd and anxious to defend the honor of Cyndi and the Rock Connection, Hogan agreed to meet the Scot February 18th at the Garden. The match billed as the War to Settle the Score, and shown over MTV's music television, was the most furious ever witnessed in a wrestling arena. From the first, the two men exchanged elbow smashes, eye rakes, and forearm blows. Hogan managed several times to slam Piper to the canvas, but the rugged Scot retaliated, jumping on Hulk's back and holding on like a leech. From that position, Piper applied the sleeper that quickly became an illegal choke. Piper rode a gasping Hulk to the canvas and continued to apply pressure. Just as the Hulkster seemed about to lose consciousness, a sudden burst of energy surged through his massive frame, and he began to rise from the canvas. Piper's grip faltered, and Hulk threw him off, and then the two men continued to battle on their feet. Piper, as is his way, tried every foul tactic he could think of to take out the Hulkster. From Piper's corner, Orton tried to lend support, but his mobility was curtailed because earlier in the card, Snuka had injured the Cowboy's arm. When Orton tried to grab Hulk by the hair, Hogan further damaged the arm by smashing it onto the ring post. Knowing he would be ineffective as Piper's bodyguard with a bad arm, Orton signaled Paul Orndorff to take his place in the corner. The fact that Orndorff was readily available indicates that his involvement was part of a preconceived plan to sabotage the Hulkster. Let's see. During the melee, Hulk was knocked into the referee, who fell to the canvas unconscious. The collision also sent Hogan into the ropes, where Piper pounded him furiously. Hulk reeled on the ropes until the Scot took him down to the mat, and then the incredible happened. Orndorff climbed to the top rope and delivered the smashing knee drop onto the prostrate form of Hogan, held down by a smirking Piper. Then Piper and Orndorff began to kick the fallen champion viciously. Lauper at ringside with Captain Lou Albano climbed into the ring apron to protest. Leaving Hogan down and groggy from the ferocious beating, Piper and Orndorff advanced menacingly on Lauper. At this point, from his seat in the audience, Mr. T, an old friend of Cindy and Hulk, pulled himself up to the apron and persuaded Cindy to return to her seat. The drama was still not over. Egged on by Piper and Orndorff, Mr. T entered the ring. As soon as he did, they suckered him with a cheap shot from behind, sending him down. Meanwhile, however, Hulk had regained his senses. As Piper and Orndorff turned to face him, Mr. T also got to his feet. Confronted with an enraged T, the Hulkster, Piper and Orndorff fled. But they returned moments later with Bob Orton and tried to regain the ring. A Pier 6 brawl followed. Police and security personnel tried to separate the battling wrestlers, but the Donnybrook did not end for several minutes. As a result of it all, Piper was disqualified and Hogan declared winner. Wendy Richter was not as lucky as the Hulkster. From the opening moments of her bout with Leilani Kai, it was apparent that she was, hang on, you're right in the way, was the target of a conspiracy. As Moolah shouted instructions from ringside, Kai pummeled Richter with illegal blows, yanked her hair, and repeatedly choked the champion. Richter fought back with the bow and arrow arm bars and drop kicks. She appeared to be getting the best of Kai when Moolah pulled the distraction. Like a wildcat, she turned on Cindy when Wendy went to help her manager. Moolah smashed the champion in her head. Kai then jumped Richter, banged her into the turnbuckle, made the pin, and took the belt. Before a stunned crowd, Moolah and her new champion pridefully strode out of the arena. In the days that followed the war to settle the score, the stage was set for today's confrontation. Both sides vowed vengeance and accepted one another's challenge. One battle doesn't settle a war, said Hogan. I'll do all I can to defend my title belt in the Rock and Wrestling Connection. T and I are an awesome team. We're psyched. As far as Piper and Orndorff are concerned, we've got a bad attitude. I'll stand behind my friends, Hulk and Wendy, promised Lauper. I'm a madman, said Mr. T. Nobody ever hit me from the back before. T stands for torture and tough, training and teamwork. We're going to have to play dirty with these guys. None of that clean stuff. This is street fighting, combat zone. I'm going to take Hulk to the alleys to train. He's going to take me to the gym. We'll be unstoppable. I pity the fools. Leilani Kai and Moolah tricked me, said Wendy. They won't fool me again. I'm going to get back my belt. As for Piper and his cohorts, they have expressed nothing but contempt for their opposition. I'm the real champion, said Piper. I left Hogan lying there like a piece of garbage. He needed T to help him. Bring on that big, dumb, blonde man, the Shuckster, and that black dude with the crazy haircut. And Orndorff warned Mr. T, boy, you stuck your nose in somebody else's business. Now we're going to break it off. I deserve the belt for a long time, said Kai. I'm keeping it, Wendy. The wimp won't ever get it back. The talk is now finished. All concerned know that the only action that matters is in the Wrestlemania ring.
All right. There's that. Well, certainly not. If you're a wrestling fan, a true wrestling fan, I thought Starrcade was a better event, but that's just my opinion. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. We'll look over here. Nice shot of Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan, World Wrestling Federation champion, took title from January 1984 from the Iron Sheik, 24-inch biceps, 303 pounds. Fierce competitor, player, wrestler, Thunderlips in film Rocky III. Mr. T starred in Rocky III as B.A. Bad Attitude on NBC television hit series The A-Team, Rugged Street Fighter. Mean Gene Okerlund sang the national anthem. I thought he did pretty good. There was 19,121 people in the attendance Madison Square Garden. The Fabulous Moolah took the title from Judy Grable in 1956, lost the to Richter in July of 1984. Leah Connie, manager, tough veteran who operates major school for women wrestlers, crafty and dangerous. Rowdy Piper also appeared was also on Starrcade. Host of Piper's Pit Television, known for dirty tricks and high intelligence, considered one of the most dangerous people in WWF. Jimmy Snuka, known for leaping high off the top rope, smashing down on opponents. Enemy of Piper and Orton. Liliana Kai took title from Wendy Richter in February of 1985, managed by Moolah, powerful, no-holds-bar wrestler. Cyndi Lauper, rock music superstar, manager of Wendy Richter, winner of 2 American Music Grammy Awards, artist 5 singles from debut album, received awards from 1984 WWF for support of women's wrestling, pioneer of Rock and Wrestling Connection. Cowboy Bob Orton, skillful but dirty wrestler, master of suplexes off top rope, Piper's associate and bodyguard. Mr. Wonderful, former professional football player, bodybuilder, star, vicious battle, known for ego. Wendy Richter. Did we already read that? We'll go ahead and read it again. Won championship from Fabulous Moolah in 1984. Lost to Leela Kai in February of 85. Managed by Cyndi Lauper. Skillful wrestler, but can brawl. Lord Alfred Hayes, he did the the interviews there, and he was holding one of these. You could see it. I watched it on Peacock, but yeah, you can see it. There's some different shots.
Holding one of the programs.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Throughout the whole event. Yeah. King Kong Bundy and his manager Jimmy Hart have some big plans for Special Delivery Jones. Boy, did they ever. King Kong as well, and nobody will be a mockery when they get into the ring.
That's right. Jimmy Hart.
Ricky Steamboat, he was out there. I don't remember him quite being that big, but he was big. David San Martino, he never quite made it to be what his father was. I couldn't imagine having your dad as Bruno San Martino. But he was good. I don't even know what he's doing today. Greg Valentine, like I said, he did good there. He looked good and just cut a good promo. And I thought he was good. Junkyard Dog, he was over like Rover. Barry Windham and Mike Rotunda, an odd tag team, but there they were. This was an even odder.
Andre.
Yeah, that's not what Andre looked like at the Battle Royal. He looked better than that, but nice color shots.
Mola.
Yeah. She's frowned upon nowadays. Nice shot of Rowdy Piper strikes a dull note in the world of rock and roll with his broken guitar.
Mr. Wonderful.
Hogan holding a newspaper extra. You think that's from that TV show today? You know.
That's the Hollywood Star Gazette.
Oh, is it? But it's okay. I thought maybe maybe
put on newspapers.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe there's a TV show. There's a Hollywood TV show called. I thought maybe that was.
That's probably where they got it.
Yeah, maybe it morphed into the TV show. Started out as a newspaper. But Hulkamania has been running wild with a new running mate. Mr. T, the votes are in, and the team is a favorite from the Big Apple, New York City. Pity the Fool. And there you have it.
There they are, working out. New York City.
Yeah, there's WrestleMania 1 in the books. Thank you if you made it this far in the video. We appreciate it. Give us a like, subscribe, comment, good or bad. Thank you.